Hey everyone, hello and welcome, Tony Bing here. For this particular video we'll be having a look at Hawkeye. Now I've had a quick look through each particular skills and so on, and I'm not massively impressed at the moment, but we do need to remind ourselves this is only day one of the test centre of testing that could actually go on for weeks. So what I would encourage everyone to do if they're not happy with any hero is get on the test centre and provide constructive, positive feedback. That's how you get things changed. I've been on the test centre a lot myself before, and I've seen people vent and get angry, and I've seen people lay out their feedback with rationale, and it does get listened to. But let's have a look at these skills anyway. We'll start off with Master Bowman. So the first skill we're looking at here is Serrated Arrow. This is just your usual basic attack. There's nothing really changed from that. And then next up we have Rock Arrow. This is the same as before. It has the damage bonus of 100% if you do fully charge the skill, with a crit hit chance of 10% on it. And then we have Acrobatic Roll. Now, no one else in his kit does he have Ronin Lunge, unfortunately, which is a pity. I did find Ronin Lunge more responsive, so it is a bit of a shame to see that go away there. And we now have his main spender, which is Free Arrow Burst. So this one, it's got critical hit chance of plus 20% on it there, which is quite a lot. That's quite nice. And then we move on to Boomerang Arrow. That just performs the same as it would. Arrow come out and it'll come back, so it can hit them twice, and it's got a stun on it as well there. And then we have Wave of Arrows, which same as before, you've got the quite high slow tied into that. And then we have Flash Bombs. This has changed a bit. Now previously, as far as I can remember, it's been a while since I played Hawkeye actually, so apologies for that, any Hawkeye fans, but as far as I can remember, if you put full points into it, you could get your invisibility and buff duration almost the same as the actual cooldown on it. But at the moment you're looking at base damage buff of 25%. The cooldown is tied in with invisibility, so it's 2 seconds and a 10-second actual cooldown there, 2-second duration, 10-second cooldown. That's pretty disappointing. It really is quite low. If we're using Rock Arrow and charge, for example, by the time you charge up, that's your base damage gone already, so that's really a bit of a shame there. And then we have Elusive Arrow. These are skills that previously people didn't use, but I can see them possibly becoming a bit more useful once we start TTL becomes more important than TTK once we start getting the difficulty slider and harder content. So not a massively great start here, losing the Ronin Lunge and the buff on Flash Bomb. But let's look at the next setup, Trick Arrows. Now with Trick Arrows, these are much the same as they are on live. You've really got the same options here. So we've got Electric Arrow, and that has a knockdown with it. You have Explosive Arrow with the vulnerability, Nerve Gas Arrow with the weaken, Freeze Arrow with the slow and the freeze, a Speed Loader Volley, which does your 50% chance to activate a Trick Quiver effect when you hit it again, and damage resistance of 50% while you're kind of using it, because it does root you to the spot. Then you have Start Tech Medical Arrow, that now provides the protected buff there. And then you have Shrieking Arrow, providing the taunt, same as usual. And then you've got his signature, which is just the same. Then you get 6-second duration and 35-second cooldown on that. So where things get a bit different will be the talents and traits. So let's have a look at them. Okay, for talents and traits, we have World's Greatest Archer, which is his trait. Now his archetype is Strategist, and that gives you a bonus for fighting and intelligence. So the fighting will buff the basic damage, crit rating multiplier, which is nice, and intelligence, and this is a strange one for me, it will buff base mental damage and also summoner or summoned ally damage. I did send a message to Michael Mayhem, and he kind of explained that Hawkeye wouldn't get strength because he's not known as a physically strong character, so you are only losing for each point you're not putting into kind of respective trait, you're only losing 0.5, but which is not huge because you are gaining the 4%, but for me it's a bit annoying for the reason that if we had strength, for example, we would get deflect rating multiplier, which Hawkeye actually has in his kit for the defensive side of things, as opposed to summon ally damage, which is completely wasted and useless on us. So that is disappointing. I can understand the reasoning behind it, but it doesn't make it any less disappointing there. Then we have Trick Quivers. This has changed how it works. Now in order to gain charges for Trick Quiver, you actually have to use a Trick Arrow attack. So with these particular attacks, most of the time you're firing them off once, like nerve gas, explosive, freeze. You'll fire them once. You're not going to really be spamming them if you're on a boss, because you'll be using free arrow burst instead. So I found that it can be quite hard to actually build up charges. The best way to get charges, as far as I can see, is if you're fighting mobs and then you shoot electric arrow. Now the problem is you can't choose when you use all these charges, so if you're on your way to a boss, use electric arrow to fire off all your charges, or to gain, loads of trick arrow charges. Then if you engage another enemy before then, potentially you could start firing off the trick arrows. So I'm not a huge fan of how that works either there. Noticing a bit of a trend here probably. And then we have combat training. This is simple enough. You can't really go wrong with this. It's deflect and dodge rating he's got there, so it's all very simple. But going back to his traits, it would make more sense if potentially he was getting deflect as one of his archetypes there. So looking at the actual traits, the first one we've got, this is nice. It's can't miss. All non-trick arrow powers gain 10% crit hit chance. So if you already look at the likes of free arrow burst, which has 20%, that's really going to take it up, and it's a huge amount for it to go up by there, and it would buff serrated arrow as well there. And then you have muscle memory. So this is essentially the old Pim's arrow. It gives you health and spirit when you hit with a non-trick arrow power. So that's his basic, or his spender free arrow burst. And then finally we have Trident Arrowhead's talent. So with this, I'm not 100% sure what it does really. It says spend trick quiver charges 50% faster. I think potentially that'd be meaning, let me activate it. Doesn't change anything there, but I think it would mean potentially your trick arrow powers have a faster chance to actually proc off once you've gained them. So for the second line we've got reflex shot. With this, serrated arrow is a 30% chance to fire a second arrow and 15% chance to fire a third. I'll quickly show it off here because it is a new skill in a way. There we go, we can see the odd one firing off there. And then we have speed draw with this. Speed loader volley fires 3 times more arrows that pierce enemies at half damage. So I'll show that as well. There we go, that looks a bit nicer there. And then we have thread the needle. So with this it returns I say returns, you had to activate one of your skills previously to get it, but it adds the 8-second cooldown to rocket arrow, which for me as a Hawkeye player is pretty vital, so you really have to use this one. So it rules out your basic or your speed loader buff. It also buffs boomerang arrow, which I know some people use as well there. So for the third line we have phosphorus flashbang. So this will make flashbang last 1 second longer, gains an extra 25% damage and refills your trick quiver. So let's activate that just so you can see it. We can see the tooltip has changed. It's 3 seconds, 10-second cooldown, base damage 50% now. There we go there, and the trick quiver is full. So next up we have heavy quiver. So trick quiver can now hold up to 10 charges, gain trick quiver charges 50% faster. One thing I've noticed with this is when you gain 10 charges, your bar will stay the same. It will still be broken into 5, but it will go up half at a time, which would indicate it has 10 charges. But once your trick arrows start firing off, they actually go off like 2 charges at a time, so it doesn't appear to be working correctly at the moment. That. And then the last one in this particular line we have make 'em count. So trick arrows deal 10% bonus damage, and trick arrows fired from trick quiver do 30% extra bonus damage. I'm not massively impressed by that, given how hard it is to actually build up trick arrows unless you're spamming something like electric arrow, and given the fact you can't choose when you're using your trick arrows. For the fourth line we have extended battery. So this is all about our signature. So start tech turret lasts 1 second longer. At the moment it's 6 seconds, it'll pull it up to 7 and it does 10% extra damage. The next one is streamlined model, and with this the duration is reduced by 2 seconds, so it'll go down to 4 seconds, and it reduces the cooldown by 20 seconds. So it maybe takes us to the lowest cooldown sig in the game. You're looking at only 15 seconds, so that is quite interesting there. And then finally we have Gemini turret arrow. So for the duration of start tech claymore turret, serrated arrow fires 2 extra arrows. So this kind of ties in with the fact he's got fighting, he's also got reflex shot, and they do seem to all be kind of leading you down a certain path there. And then for the fifth trait line we have overwhelming force. So wave of arrows becomes overwhelming force, which now fires 1 of each trick arrow as well as shrieking. This is a bit of a mess. I'll activate it so you can see it, and most of the actual arrows will miss. There we go, huge 12-second cooldown. really not a fan how that works at all. If that could maybe be changed into something where our charges of trick arrows we could save up, if we saved up 10 charges there, and then we could use that to fire them all off, and maybe even homing in an enemy for example, then that could be interesting, but as it is, not a huge fan. Next up we have Moths to the Flame. So if this shrieking arrow gains a 4-second dot, we'll activate it just so you can see it. Take a little moment to blow up. There we go, and there's your burning dot as well there. And then finally we have Reposition and Re-engage. So with this, Elusive Arrow gains a 10-second cooldown and activates Flash Bomb and Shield Med Kit. Slightly underwhelmed by this as well because it's buffing it's buffing an attack that you would have to actually use this trait if you want to make the most of it, so it's kind of tying you. If you use this, you feel tied into that. So I will activate it so you can see it anyway. There we go there. So overall, as you can probably tell, I'm a bit disappointed, but again, it's day one test centre. We need to go on and give our feedback. I remember when Hawkeye was changed about a year or so ago, and the first iteration was a bit shaky, but the Hawkeye community got together, we all worked hard, and he came out looking a lot better than he was initially. So we need to do the same again. Get on TC, get given good feedback, and fingers crossed we can get the big man the respect that he actually deserves. So I've got no idea who I'd like to do for the next video, so if any of you guys have any suggestions, do let me know, and I'll see you all again soon.